back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking specifically about gear and gear swaps, stuff that I have changed out or added from the time that I hiked the AT last year to now hiking the PCT coming up. I'm going to be breaking it down into kind of subgroups, first talking about clothes and then additional gear swaps and then kind of just like a miscellaneous category. So with that, let's just kind of jump right in. First thing I'm going to be changing are the shorts that I'm going to be wearing. I wore a green short that had about a 4.5 inch seam, and now I'm going to be swapping to a 5-inch seam. There's not really any rhyme or reason that I'm switching shorts, except I don't want to wear the same shorts that I wore all summer, and I kind of want to switch from the green to the black as I'm being a little bit more mindful of the outfit that I'm going to have to wear every day. Last summer, I kind of picked it just because it fit. This summer, I'm picking it because I want to look a little bit more put together. Mostly for you guys, and also, I'm 27 years old and I felt like I was a third grader hiking with pigtails and like completely blue top, green bottoms. I don't know what it was. I just didn't really feel like my best self. So I'm hoping by wearing the black pants or the black shorts that I can feel a little bit better. The weight is negligible. I'm going to be wearing it, so it's only a little bit lighter. So I'm dropping 1.2 ounces for that one. Next step is going to be the socks that I'm wearing. It's the same brand, which I really love. I have used them throughout my whole hiking career, mostly because if something goes wrong, I mail them back and they give me credit. So it's basically hiking with one pair of socks my whole time, even if I end up trashing one. So I'm switching from a micro crew cut to a boot cut, which the one, again, it's also kind of a negligible weight. I'm only adding 1.5 ounces, but by doing the higher cut, which is going to basically go, let me see, it's going to go from here to here. I'm hoping that I can kind of cut down on some of the dirt that is going to be on my legs. The PCT is, I guess, stereotypically dirtier, dustier. I don't know, the pictures I have seen just seem raunchier as far as like cleanliness, and the idea of sliding into my sleeping bag, not doing everything I can to just make it cleaner is so I'm hoping by the higher cut socks that I can cut down on some of that. The next thing I am swapping up, I guess you could say, is my puffy jacket, my down jacket. I loved the jacket that I had used. It had matched my fleece, it looked nice, and it didn't have a hood, which, like I said, can be negligible for some people, but the PCT is going to be colder, the temps are going to be way more varying, so I want to have that additional insulation layer on my head, so I'm getting a hood. I'm switching over to another black jacket from a blue to a black, so I'm kind of streamlining my color system here. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be matching like all the way through, or if I even want to do that, but it's just kind of, I'm seeing a trend here of me being like blah with my colors to, yeah, I'm gonna kind of narrow it down to a select few. So I'm switching to a jacket, which is gonna be about 3 ounces heavier, I think, just because of the hood. I was gifted this jacket from my friend Trey, so I'm super excited to get to use it. I wore it skiing with him and tested it out, and it was amazing. So yes, thank you so much, Trey, for that glorious, glorious gift. You are amazing. I'm going to be taking it with me, swapping out that. Rain jacket. Next swap. Rain jacket. Switching, here we go, weird colors again, from a blue to a red, which is crazy. I don't really own anything or purchase anything red, but here we go. I am swapping this. It's 0.5 ounces lighter, so it's really negligible. My blue rain jacket still kind of has an odor to it, and I'm thinking that's just because it had done so much time on the trail and the sweating and all of that, so I'm switching that one. I mean, I could have made do, but I was thrift shopping and I saw this glorious red rain jacket. The only thing that was wrong with it was a part of the zipper on the breast was coming off, but I just seam adhesived it. I sealed it again with waterproofing gear repair, and it is good as new. I love that I thrifted it, so that's another reason. And then I guess just the red. Why not? You're hiking in the rain, probably 3 or 4 days in a row. Maybe a cheery color will make it a little bit better. Next thing I'm adding, a sun hat. I joked and mocked with my mother about this one when she bought it, when she was planning on through hiking, but I found this at the thrift store again. So here we go. So stoked to be wearing it. You can buy it off of Amazon, I found out, but why not thrift it? Here we are. I'm kind of stoked about the gear that I found at the thrift store this year. Sun hat, crucial in the desert section, or so I've been told. So I'm gonna be rocking it out instead of just like a regular trucker hat. Adding 2 ounces. Next up, rain skirt, whoop, 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 whoop. Adding a beautiful rain skirt that I made from pants that I yet again thrifted. If you want to know how I made my own rain skirt, or kind of like why I made my own rain skirt, I have a video. That was the second video I uploaded, but I can't not try it out. So adding down pants. While through hiking the AT, part of my tramley, his name was Strap On. Every single night that he came into camp, he would put on some down pants. He said they were fisherman pants, and they looked so comfy. He wore them the whole time. With the PCT being a little bit colder, a little bit more dreary, a little bit more unpredictable, I am just gonna carry the extra weight and put down pants on every night. I think this will be worth it, you guys, but stay tuned because I'll probably do a little touch back in with the gear that I decide to keep, drop, change while I'm on the PCT. I think this is going to be one of the ones that I save though. So down pants, they were gifted to me from my husband's mom, Mary. So shout out to you, Mary. Thank you so much for getting these in time. I'm currently a couple days before I'm supposed to leave for the trail, and they're still in the mail. So this is one of those that are just skeeching on in at the last minute that I decided to add to my kit. I switched out pretty much all my big stuff except my sleeping bag. So my tent, I switched out from an ultralight 1.5 person tent. I'm now doing an ultralight 2-person tent. This tent was gifted to me for my wedding from another fellow thru hiker named Coach. He's on the East Coast. He thru hiked with my husband in 2011. And so that was the one thing that we really wanted for our wedding, and he got it for us. Thank you so, so much. It took a little bit of debate to get my husband Michael to let me to take it, but he has a thru hike in the pipeline and I know he wants to take it. And I think that's why he's letting me take it with me on this round. I went back and forth on if I was going to just do the tent that I was comfortable with or do this new tent, which is honestly way lighter for the amount of space that you have. I'm just going to wing it. Disclaimer, I have not set up this tent. I'm going to be setting it up on trail for the first time. I don't know. Actually, I do know. People don't recommend it, but I'm doing it. I'm going to set it up for the first time on trail. I added a Tyvek tarp to have a footprint, so the weight compared to the 1.5 to the 2 is actually still about breaking even because of the Tyvek tarp. I'm not regretting that. I'm hoping it'll keep my tent in nicer condition. I'm hoping that it'll act as another insulation layer. I'm hoping that I can use it as a sit-upon in camp. So many valuable things that you can do for that. Just adding it in. So swapping out the tent. Excited, nervous. I will film, maybe time myself the first time on trail to at the end to see if I get any faster. The main difference with this tent swap is that the UL 1.5 that I had had its own tent poles and frame, whereas the 2 that I'm switching to has no tent poles and has no frame. It uses your hiking poles. That will be a space saver in my pack, even though I'm not going to be dropping any weight because of the tarp. that will be interesting as well. So excited about that. Next swap, going from a foam cell mattress to an inflatable mattress. On the AT, I swapped out, I had a foam cell and I replaced it twice, once halfway through. I love the foam cell because I tend to move around a lot, but I'm trying to save space in my pack specifically, so I'm doing an inflatable one this time. I got a small size, which means it's gonna be about the 3/4 length of your body, and then I'm gonna be using my backpack as the other half to kind of act as an insulation layer. Haven't tried it. Everybody I know loves it. Gonna just be one of those things that I do on trail. Like I said, this time around, I'm kind of just winging a lot of it because I know you can only plan so much. So gonna be trying the sleeping pad inflatable one, probably for the second or third time on trail. I'll let you know how that one goes as well. Next thing I'm doing, I'm bringing this selfie stick, which I'm filming on right now, this little guy that I've had forever that I've never really used up until now. He's a little heavy because I got him for $10 at Walmart, but I'm new to this and I didn't want to invest a lot of my own personal money into it until I figured out that this was going to be something that I did long term or just kind of fizzled out with. So bringing the camera stand. Headlamp. Next swap. To me, apart from the clothes, this is by far my favorite swap and the one that I for sure knew that I was going to do. The reason I'm switching from this headlamp to this headlamp is strictly because I want something bright. This headlamp worked fine. It's battery operated. I got it in 2017. It pushes about 200 lumens out. This headlamp, apparently now we recharge headlamps as in like a plug-in as you would your cell phone. So it's rechargeable. It has a front and a back light, which cool. But the most important thing is that it emits 500 lumens of light. So cool. 500 lumens. That's about 2.5 times the brightness of this lamp that I was headlamp that I was going to bring. I want to night hike. I want a night hike. It's going to be crucial in the freaking desert when it's hot as balls to do those peak hours to get some miles in. I just could not do it with the headlamp that I took on the AT. It would be a danger. It was not lighting up the trail all of the way. So I'm hoping now this brighter headlamp with the new technology that it has will lead the way to success as I do those miles. It's 1.2 ounces heavier. What are you gonna do? I guess recharging is a little bleh. All in all, it added about a pound of weight for my gear swaps. And even more so, once I hit the Sierra Nevadas, I'm gonna have to take on even more weight in the form of a bear canister, some micro spikes, and depending on the weather, I might even have to bring an ice axe. So you can kind of see comparing apples to oranges. The PCT requires a little bit more gear, a little bit more warmth, and a little bit more planning, which I haven't really been doing, but I've been figuring out along the way. So there you have it. Those are my gear swaps. If you want to follow along on my PCT through journey, just like and subscribe.